Hello, gorgeous. You're listening to the Girlfriend's Guide to Starting Over podcast, and I'm your host, Kayla. If you are just listening for the first time, then I want to say hello and welcome to my platform. And as always, if you are a returning listener, hey, sis, welcome back. So, for the month of October, we have been talking all about authenticity. We've discussed what authenticity is, ways that you may be self sabotaging yourself, reasons that you're not showing up authentically, ways that you can show up authentically. And today we're going to talk about one of the ways that I truly united with my authentic self, and that was reuniting with my feminine energy and learning how to rest. The soft girl era, if you will. Learning to rest is something that is so incredibly important in helping us with our physical and our mental health journeys. And it's pivotal. It is pivotal, and it's something that so many people don't know how to do. It's a recurring thing that I get from clients, from mentees, from friends. So we're going to dive into it today. So, first things first, I want to start by saying that rest is not just taking a nap or lounging on the couch. Rest is literally anything that allows your nervous system to feel safe and secure enough to shut down and relax and not be on guard. So, it could be literally sitting by the lake, it could be reading a book, it could be meditating, it could be anything. It's not just taking a nap. I want to cue that in for you guys. So if you're like me, from a young age, I was shamed for resting. If my mother never slowed down, my dad never slowed down. And if you were caught relaxing or resting or what appeared to be lounging, then you were very quickly given a task or assigned something to do because we don't have time to be laying around. And so that's no shade at them. It's just the way that I was raised, it's the way I was reared. And so I subconsciously adopted this mindset that's totally wrong, was that hard work and productivity is equal to value and success. That's not necessarily true. You don't have to work like bell to bell, sun up to sundown in order to be successful. You can learn to work smarter, not harder. And so I've really had to retrain my brain. One of the ways that you might notice that you need to rest is if you're feeling uninspired, if you're feeling drained, if you're feeling like, what's the purpose of life? What's my passion in life? Like I feel lost or like I'm on a merry-go-round. Those might be some cues that you need to rest. Something I tell my clients very frequently is when people start to get sick or they start to shut down and they feel like they're just kind of like a toy soldier and they're just going through the motions, that is a cue that you need to rest. I tell people all the time when they say, "Oh, I've got a headache or I'm stressed, but you don't have to do anything. If you do not make time to rest, prepare because your body is going to make time to recover. So we get to choose. We can either rest or we can recover. Either way, your body is going to take the break. I personally like to stay on top of it and in front of it. So, ways that resting helps is when you're rested, you're super creative, you're super inspired, you have a whole lot of energy. I know that personally, when I'm creating content for you guys, I typically like to take a nap or I do it first thing in the morning, right after I wake up in the morning, because I have so much energy, so much zest, so much zeal, like thoughts just flow through my mind. If I am waiting till the end of the night, if I'm waiting to the day before something is supposed to post, if I'm waiting till the last minute, then I'm super stressed and it comes through in everything that I produce. And so I encourage you to consider places where you feel stretched too thin. The value of what you're putting out can't be great because you are trying to balance that nourishing yourself and putting yourself into what you're putting out, right? So just really think about that. The truth of the matter is, many of us are addicted to stress. I said that like you're stretched too thin. You're like, well, Kayla, I'm a procrastinator. I know I was too. And I work on it daily. I think in the last video or the last podcast episode, I actually talked about my way um, of mediating that procrastination in myself. The truth is, many of us are addicted to stress. It's just how we move. It's our norm. So when the dust settles and everything's okay, we're like, okay, what's wrong? And then we feel uneasy because we can't identify what's wrong, because obviously something should be wrong, right? And so we bombard ourselves with thoughts of, okay, what am I missing? Something's going wrong. Or we're sitting down for whatever self care it is that we've decided to drag ourselves to. And the whole time we're like, oh, going over our to do list of all the things that we could have gotten done or all the problems we could have solved with this time that we're supposed to be caring for ourselves. That's a problem. We really get to tap into that, and we get to solve that. We get to stop that. We get to, I've been saying a lot, we get to unlearn that. So, Kayla, how do I rest? Grab your pen and tag your friends, because I'm going to share 4 ways that you can learn to rest. Get ready, get ready. If you're driving, do not take notes right now. You just listen. You can take your notes later. There's no need for that. Like, this is going to be up. Okay. So, first things first, in learning to rest, I've got my notes over here, is we get to remove the timeline. We get to remove the timeline. And that's big words coming from a girl like me. Because, buddy, did I have a timeline? I'm like, I want to be married by 27. I want to have kids by 30, house by 32, like all of these things, right? The degree, the job. And when it doesn't happen, you freak out. And you're like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? I'm not good enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not pretty enough. And it's like, none of that is true. Like, literally, none of that is true. So I want to challenge you and say, who gave you that timeline? Most instances, we gave ourselves a timeline. And if we're the timeline giver, that means that we can reset the timeline. I strongly suggest that you do away with it. I do. If you rush it, you'll ruin it. Trust me, I've done that with relationships. I've done that with a lot of stuff. If you rush it, you will ruin it. Okay. Um, Kayla, what if the timeline is biological? Because we all have that biological clock. If you're a lady and you're interested in having children, then lots of times you'll be like, I really want to have a baby. And if I don't have a baby by this age, I need you to start considering all the other ways that things can happen. You can freeze your eggs, you can adopt, be open. Yes, I know you want to be pregnant, you want the experience, but start being open to receiving your desire, however the world or the universe, God, whatever you believe in, intends for you to receive it. Start being more open, okay? Number 2, give yourself an assigned day to rest and do the things that you love. Plan it. Put it on the calendar, put it on the schedule. Then you don't have to feel guilty that you're at the nail shop or getting a massage or doing whatever, because it's on the calendar. It is the plan. Let your family know, yo, during this time, I'm going to be off the grid, unavailable, because you have set in stone time for you to step away from your expectations, right? Try doing this one time a month. And I know what you're like, Kayla, one time a month, I can't even. Okay, cool. 1 hour a day. That is how I started. 1 hour a day. 1 hour a day was strictly for Kayla. And I didn't care if I had to get up in the morning, if I had to take it midday and sneak away from my lunch, or if I had to take it in the afternoon. It was my time. It was my time to do a face mask, read a book, do a guided meditation, schedule a massage, doing something for me. Why? Because I deserve it, because I'm worth it. We have to be intentional about carving out the time for us. Otherwise, we assign that time to someone else because we're busying ourselves, because that's what we do. It's natural to us. This is going to be uncomfortable. It is going to be a retraining of your brain process. You can handle it. I always tell ladies to carve out this time, and they're like, well, I don't want to be lazy. Learn the difference between being lazy and resting. Lazy is an unwillingness, a lack of motivation to use your energy, no drive, poor motivation. Resting is honoring your body and your brain and acknowledging the fact that they deserve and need time to decompress and recharge. Number 3, slow down, sis. Slow down. Slow down. This is a lesson that I'm still in the process of learning. Like, sincerely, like, enjoy your food. Savor your coffee or your tea. Like, slow and steady your speech. Stop rushing through your lunch. Stop abbreviating your break. Stop walking so fast. Where are you going? I assure you that whatever you're rushing off to, It's still going to be there whenever you get there. There's no need to have this hustle, 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 go, go, go. Slow down. That's something that we get to unlearn. I think we see fast food, we see hot and ready pizza, we see like everything comes out immediately. Cristo, right? Or presto. Crisco is cooking oil. Presto. Everything comes out so fast. We think that we have to do that, and we don't. We get to slow down. One of the things that I started doing myself at the top of the year is to stop reacting and to start observing. Observe instead of react. Like when something triggers me, when something upsets me, when something is happening and I feel like I need to jump in and take action, I've started to observe. Why am I having this response? Why do I feel like this is my responsibility? Why do I feel like I need to dive in? When something triggers you, it cues you into where you're not healed. What wounds are there? What still needs to be worked on? That right there is going to do so much for you because it teaches you to slow down. It's not your job to save the ship every time. And we only stop doing that. We only stop volunteering that. We only stop moving faster than everyone else when we allow ourselves to slow down and observe what's happening instead of responding. Number 4 and final is invest in the inner work. I know. Kayla, y'all ain't trying to hear that. You're not. It is the hard work. It's the unfun work. It's the unsexy stuff. It's the healing my trauma stuff. It's the look what happened to me, but I'm still standing stuff. But it's so important. I cannot stress the importance and the life-changing capabilities of therapy, of coaching, of courses, of podcasts. Like it is imperative that you heal what happened to you so that you don't repeat it. Each day we are faced with a choice: evolve or repeat. When are you going to get tired of repeating? Also, consider your surroundings. Surround yourself with people who are there or headed in the direction that you want to go. That means you're going to outgrow some people. So your timeline should look like people that you want to be like or people that you're like headed in that direction. So for me, it's constant exposure to podcasts and live videos and content from Chrissy Connor, who is my personal coach, Brené Brown, Mel Robbins, Jay Shetty, RC Blakes. There is so much to be learned from podcasts, from books, from content, and from containers of people who are doing the mindset work, doing the inner work. It is so much to be learned from that. And I'm glad that you're hanging out with me because I'm in a constant journey myself of growth and development. And I feel like you can do the same if you put in the effort. I love you, girl. I want the best for you, girl. Those are my 4 best tips for learning how to rest. It was one of those things that I had to do to return to my authentic self, to who I was innately designed to be. And I'm hoping that by hearing these things, you can do the same. I hope this helps, and we'll chat in the next one.